Welcome to Boond Soch ki Tea Talk Train of Thoughts. This is a platform of the people, for the people, and by the people. On this Tea Talk platform, we try and cover the various stories of a leadership, entrepreneurship, young achievers. The whole idea is to give it back to our society in a meaningful way. The experience of all the leaders and the entrepreneurship, we try and draw some learning out of it for the society at large. Today on T-Talk platform, we are having TCS General Manager Mr. Prashant Likhite. So welcome to T-Talk platform.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for sparing your valuable time.
Thank
And
you.
all the
Thank
way
you for
come-
inviting me.
All
Thanks
the
a
way
lot.
you have come from Pune. It's our pleasure. Small introduction of Mr. Prashant Likhite. He has been there into TCS for more than 20 years in HR. When we say HR, it's Dil Se, like it's meant for the people. Like overall, he's having 35 years of an experience in HR and legal. And Mr. Prashant had worked for big brands like Asian Paints, Hindustan Siva Gaigi, Sear Tides, Tech Mahindra, Reliance Infocom. Apart from the Indian organization, Sir had also worked in countries like UK, USA, Canada, Mexico. And apart from that, sir, it's an interesting thing what we have also seen, like 30 Bollywood actresses, Rupari Chandan. You have compiled
Ruperi Chandana.
Rupeli Chandan.
Huh.
Okay, you have compiled the entire the life of an actress in that particular book. Great, sir. And sir also have been writing for Mumbai Sarkar, known as a Machine Wala
Machine Wala was the nickname of my column in Mumbai.
of your column. So welcome to Tea Talk, and I would like to share. I would request you to share something for our target audience. Like, just tell us of you something about Prashant Likhite and as a person, journey from college days till the corporate life. How it has been like.
Before I start talking about myself, I like to say that एक बूंद सोच की, it gives me a very good feeling because बूंद बूंद से ही सागर बनता है. अगर बूंद ही नहीं है, शुरुआत बूंद से होती है. अगर बूंद नहीं है तो there is no chance of anything getting bigger, becoming bigger. So it's a brilliant title, and I'm really thankful that you invited me in Tea Talk.
It's our pleasure, sir. It's our pleasure.
I'll go to my college days. See, I did my graduation, my BSc in Bombay University. Then I did my Master of Labour Studies from Maharashtra Institute of Labour Studies, and then I did my LLB. I was a good student, not the top ranker one, but had lot of interest while I was a student. I used to play table tennis very well. I played up to, I represented Thane district into Maharashtra state level tournaments. Even today I play. So today it's for keeping me fit.
Okay.
But those days it used to be passion. I used to practice for 6-7 hours a day time. The second thing I was into was singing.
Okay.
There were friends in music and started singing with them. So when I was in school, 8th, 9th, 10th standard, whenever there is a free class or nothing is to be taught, the teacher used to say, Prashant, chalo gana gao.
Okay.
So that is the way it began.
It started from there. Okay.
And then there used to be Ganpati festivals in Mumbai. I think that is a speciality of Mumbai, right? So all 10 nights used to go to different Ganpati festivals, festivities, and sing there with my group. Used to be a fantastic time. I mean, really enjoyed. Wherever I went thereafter, right? Wherever I went for whichever country or whichever company I worked for, there is one thing I never left. That is, मैंने म्यूजिक की डोर कभी नहीं छोड़ी.
Okay.
Of course, जैसे शादी होती है, बच्चे होते हैं, एजुकेशन होता है, नौकरी होती है, one can't do it, one can't pursue it with the same vigor. कम तो जरूर हुआ, but पूरी तरह से छोड़ा नहीं.
Okay.
करता रहा whichever way I can, and even now I am doing that. So,
but जब आप you started with HR like, so why HR like?
I was always a people's person. because of my music, because of my games. स्कूल में कॉलेज में हमेशा आई यूज्ड टू बी सराउंडेड बाय पीपल, फ्रेंड्स एंड को प्लेयर्स एंड को सिंगर्स एंड अकेलापन से एक डर सा लगता है मुझे.
Okay.
तो शायद ये वीकनेस भी है, मुझे पता नहीं, बट हमेशा लोग आसपास होना was always my preference.
Okay.
Maybe that is what brought me to HR. And then I got into Maharashtra Institute of Labour Studies, which is a state government owned, and Bombay University run Masters of Labour Studies, master's degree course, 2 years full time. When I got there, I could see that my basis for being in people, right, is by working in HR and by helping people improve their life, whichever little way it can. So I found my profession in line with my interest in life. So started with HR.
Okay. And we say in an organization, like, basically when we talk in terms of people, like HR is an heart of an people, like, so HR is an heart, like normally. Your first job, how you started, and which is the organization with which you start your first job?
I did a very small stint with Bombay Dyeing, but it was too short. I can't even say that I really started my career there. I quickly moved to Asian Paints, where which contributed big way into my shaping up as a HR professional. See, there used to be, when I joined as the junior most person in HR. There was a hierarchy above me, and I had a fantastic boss. His name was Vivek Patwardhan. In fact, I am very happy to name him here because he contributed a lot in my shaping up. So on my first day, I remember I was sitting in front of Vivek, and he told me, saying that there is a tradition in Asian Paints that a junior most person becomes by default editor of a company magazine called Tutari. Tutari is trumpet. You must have seen, it's a big trumpet.
Yeah.
So the speciality of this magazine was, it was all the contributions, all the articles and poetries, and they are contributed by the workmen of Bombay factory of Asian Paints. And junior most HR person becomes editor. So Patwardhan sir told me, saying that, so you will become editor of this and you have to run this. So I told him I have never written in life. ये काम मैंने अभी तक किया नहीं है. His response was very interesting. He said, अभी तक नहीं किया है, ठीक है, आप करना शुरू करो.
Okay.
It's a part of job. तो आप ये करना है आप. Came down to my room, sat there thinking of what to do. Then started reading the old issues of Tutari.
Yeah.
And as thinking started, things started coming to my mind. Tutari also has a stake into Asian Paints because Asian Paints had a bad strike, and I think it was 84-85 type, and thereafter the workmen came back on the work after the lockout, and they came feeling defeated, and Asian Paints management never wanted their workmen. Because the feeling of Asian Paint management was, these are our workmen. They should never feel dejected or they should never feel that they are turned down by the management. And Tutari in this situation was a bridge to reach out to these people.
Okay, penning down all the
connecting with them, networking with them.
Yeah.
So when I read the old issues of Tutari, I realized my job is to connect with the workmen. So I started with that, and my passion was to connect with people because of my singing, my college days, and my games, and that was the passion anyway, to be with people. So I started talking to them, and when I used to go to shop floor of Asian Paints, I never used to talk about production or whatever disciplinary action issues and all that. I used to talk about what can you contribute. Why don't you write on so and so article? In fact, the way, sir, you encouraged me to come here and talk. My tone that time used to be to the workmen of Asian Paint, whoever I'm talking to, saying that, boss, why can't you write on this subject? You have a knowledge about this. And the contributions which were initially not coming slowly started pouring in.
So involving people into the entire...
Because the structure of the magazine was entire 8-page magazine contributions from the workmen, only editorial by me.
Okay.
So, started connecting with people. So it gave me a chance to make friends.
Mm-hmm.
It gave me a chance to hone my writing skills.
Correct.
And actually started loving it.
And also understanding their skill set which is there in the entire process, like.
See, that was their skill set, and how paint making is done was taught to me through induction process.
Mm-hmm.
That was not difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But learning exactly how things happen in the minds of
Mm-hmm.
workmen was very important. And Asian Paints management, see, Vivek Patodhan himself had a fantastic connect
Mm-hmm.
with workmen of Asian Paints.
Mm-hmm.
On work related, I'll like to give an example. There is one incident which has left a permanent mark on me.
Mm-hmm.
See, junior most person, as a junior most person, I used to sit in time office,
Mm-hmm.
right? And one day, one of my team member, he came and handed me over a calculation sheet,
Mm-hmm.
saying that you need to check this, initial this, and give it to Mr. Patwardhan for his final signature.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him, what is this? He said, this is a gratuity calculation of a retiring workman.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I have to check it. So I pulled out my calculator and checked all the multiplication, whatever, and put my initial and sent it to Patwardhan.
Mm-hmm.
When it went to Patwardhan sir, he called me
Mm-hmm.
and he said that sheet was lying on his table.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, did you check? I said, I checked. He said, are you sure it is correct?
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, it is correct. He said, how did you check? So I told him I used calculator and did this.
Mm-hmm.
He said, but tell me one thing, why for working out 1 day salary?
Mm-hmm.
See, gratuity is 15 days salary per year completed.
Mm-hmm.
For working out 15 days,
Mm-hmm.
last drawn salary say you have to work out 1 day salary
Mm-hmm.
multiplied by 15.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, for working out 1 day salary out of monthly salary, why factor of 28 is taken?
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the months are of 30.
Mm-hmm.
February is of 28.
Mm-hmm.
Then why 28?
Mm-hmm.
I said, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Then he said, okay, take this paper, go to time sheet, time office, and go to your cabin. I'll send somebody. And sat on my desk, and I was thinking the weird way of Patodhan sir of not telling me exactly what's wrong in my checking.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw Patwardhan sir and one of the workmen. He was wearing his khaki uniform.
Mm-hmm.
They walked in. Name of that workman I remember very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Mr. Ghadi.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them came in, sat in front of me. And then Mr. Patwardhan told Mr. Ghadi, saying that Ghadi, Prashant doesn't know why factor of 28 is taken while working out 1 day salary out of the last drawn salary.
Mm-hmm.
So Ghadi turned to me and said that, sir, baat aisi hai, there is a Supreme Court judgment in Digvijay Mill case.
Mm-hmm.
This is a full bench of Supreme Court, in which they gave that they said that different denominator is used in different states and different organizations. So in order to bring uniformity across the country, we are giving this judgment, and factor of 28 will be taken across. So this has become a law now, and gratuity calculation need to happen with a factor of 28.
Okay.
So when this is coming from a Mr. Ghadi, who is wearing a khaki uniform, who makes paint on the shop floor. See, there was a purpose why Patwardhan did it this way. But he also could have told me directly, right?
Directly, yes, sir.
But he didn't. So, मेरा नजरिया बदल गया. To look at, see it from that point onwards, कौन क्या काम कर रहा है?
Correct.
That never mattered to me.
Correct.
कोई
भी बंदा आपको कुछ ना कुछ सिखा सकता है, like, you know, so no ego tag है सर.
हर बंदा सिखा सकता है. प्रॉब्लम यह है कि हर बंदा सिखा सकता है कुछ ना कुछ.
That's a sign of a good leader, like, you know, how he makes you understand certain things, like, you know,
So
and you're not also hurt in the process.
correct. So that's the greatness of Patwardhan sir, and it started shaping me up as a HR professional and as a leader. So therefore I say that Asian Paints made a major difference to me.
Okay.
Then this Tutari first issue, I assembled. I got contribution from the workmen. I somehow written my first editorial, right? Put my photographs of the new editor and all that. Was feeling very happy about it. Then with that bunch, I walked down to Patwardhan sir's cabin and said that this first issue of Tutari, then I assembled. Want to send it for printing. So he said, okay, send it. I said, don't you want to review it before I send it? Because I'm sending for printing. He said, हाँ भेज दो printing को, मतलब आप देखना नहीं चाहोगे? मैं क्यों देखूँगा? I said, देखिए मैं फाइनल प्रिंटिंग को जा अभी प्रिंट होके इशू आ जाएगा, कुछ गलती है तो उसमें
बता दो,
अगर गलती है तो अगले इशू में सुधार लो. And he didn't review it. He made me send it to press. It came, it was published, it was distributed, all of that. So it was a lesson saying that, boss, your work, you are responsible. Do full attention, full focus, and if there are mistakes, own it up.
Take the responsibility of your mistakes.
Own it up, improve, and get going. So that is the way Asian Paint shaped me up.
बट बहुत ऐसे लीडर्स होते हैं जो ऐसा हैंड होल्डिंग करके और समझते हैं रिसोर्सेज को एंड देन दे नर्चर दोस काइंड ऑफ रिसोर्सेज ऑन दोस बेसिस.
See, space for letting a professional make a mistake is very important.
Correct.
See, by not letting a person make a mistake,
learning won't be there.
It will be, the person will be always a pygmy. Won't grow as a.
But one thing which is there, like if you see, like at the initial stage when I want to get into a particular domain, like say HR, and I'm very fussy in terms of I want to get into this particular area of an HR. Was there something in your mind that you want to get into this only and not into this?
Actually, never thought this way, because I kept on doing whatever came my way, and because it's my nature not to fight with the system, but to make best use of whatever comes your way. I think that is what helped me. Even today, when I sing in orchestra and I do my shows, list of songs to be sung, it comes from the organizer. And I never argue saying that I want this song or I don't want this song, I don't like this song. Never.
How you got Asian Paint directly through this thing, or you approached Asian Paints?
I think they had one advertisement. I responded to that. And I was interviewed with the factory manager. I was interviewed by Vivek Patwardhan. I was interviewed by a senior person in HR.
But one thing, we have seen your strength in India. You have worked with Asian Paints, Hindustan Ciba-Geigy, CA Tyres, Tech Mahindra, Reliance Infocom, all these relevant organized of big brands, like so many over years. Like why and how it happened, like all these big brands coming your way, and वो कैसा हुआ?
See, first thing is I'll say I was too lucky. I would certainly call me myself brilliant, or I was lucky. God was very kind to me. So got the opportunities. If at all something I had done, I applied myself honestly into whatever I am doing, and it worked so far.
Any incidents which you would like to share, like in particular organization, being an HR professional, like, and there are the various HR issues which are there within an organization, and to tackle those kind of an issues, like which you remember, I would like to share with our T-Talk audience.
Sure. I'll quickly talk about after Asian Paints. I moved to Hindustan Ciba-Geigy, which was a big company into pharmaceutical, international company, Basel based, and Voveron was Ciba-Geigy product. Cibaca toothpaste, you must have heard of. So Cibaca was, or Binaka it was called earlier. It was Ciba-Geigy
at one point of time.
It was a company which was factory was in Bombay, and it was to be closed. And the company had 1,000 workmen. I was there as a second in command from Asian Paints. I was assistant manager HR for the factory. And what I engage myself is into what these guys are going to do. These 1,000 people, their age group was 35 to 40. When somebody gets good money and out of job at the age of 40, what the person is going to do with his life from 40 to 80? 40 साल बंदा क्या करेगा? So I engaged myself into that activity, conducted training programs for them in terms of how to invest money, because they were about to get good money out of VRS. There was a session on health, yoga, and how they keep themselves fit till the time they are 80.
Okay.
There was a session on relationship. I used to participate as a faculty as well. I used to tell them, saying that now when you are 35 or 40, after you retire and you got this money, you are going to take a good nap in the afternoon. And when you take a good nap, your neighbor's son or daughter will be playing outside, is going to disturb your sleep. That boy or girl will be of 10-12 years. If you shout at them today, then when after a few years when you will be of 60, they will be of 25. And that time, while returning from office, if you want them to stop by and talk to you saying that, how are you, uncle? Then you have to invest in that today. You cannot, so start investing in relationship. So how to manage money, how to manage relationship, how to manage health. There was battery of sessions which were conducted for these people.
Okay.
It was a smooth closure. All 1,000 people got good money, and they settled down in life. And one of the module of my training was entrepreneurship development. Entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship.
So what kind of a business they can get into?
They can get into.
See, there were fitters, there were mechanics, there were boiler operators, right? So what kind of a business they can start, and how they can create employment for others as well. So this is one example of the kind of problem and labor problem or employment problem which HR comes across, and what should be the approach. At least what was my approach while dealing with this. There is another example I like to give. From Sibagaigi, I joined CEAT, Banduk factory of CEAT.
Yeah.
And there was a theft case. And actually, let me tell you the other way. After I left CEAT, many years after I left, one of the Sunday mornings I been to the fish market of Thane with my wife. While I was coming out, there is a guy on a bullet, a big guy, sturdy, 6-footer with big mustache. He came on a bullet and parked the bullet next to me. And he got down from the bullet and then started talking to me. While we were talking, suddenly he interrupted our talk and turned to my wife and said that Likhite साहब ने ही मुझे निकाला था नौकरी से. And again he turned to me and started talking to me. So we spoke for a few minutes. Then he went. The moment he went, my wife asked me, "What is this matter? Yeah? What is he saying?" I said, "Yeah, it's true. It was a fraud. It was a theft actually. Therefore, and this person was into alcohol that time, big way. Family was ruined. Had 3 kids. He completely ruined his life. And there was a theft caught. It was necessary to terminate him. So inquiry was conducted. He was terminated. But when we terminate somebody, we affect the entire family. Correct. We don't affect one. No, the effects are on all 4 or 5 in the family. And plus there is a social stigma. So what I did was, this person, he had no money to fight the case in court. So I spoke to my lawyer friend, arranged for legal services to him at a low cost. At the same time, I spoke to the transport vendor, and because he was a good driver, got him an employment on 50% of CEAT salary. But at least उसका घर चल रहा था. Then this person, when he spoke to my wife, he said that लिखित सर ने मुझे निकाला था, लेकिन अभी मेरे 6 टेम्पो हैं. So I told my wife, saying that he started working there, left alcohol, rented 1 tempo, then bought that tempo, then bought 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and now he's a rich man. So if as a HR professional you have to decide, make a decision which is not so good, maybe bitter, well, one has to take that. But remember that there is a human being behind that decision, and the person is going to get affected, and there are 4 others or 5 others who also will be
You need to
affected.
balance both the aspects of a corporate and the employees too also.
जो करना है वो तो करना पड़ेगा. But while you do that, keep it in mind that it's a person you are dealing with.
Okay. And when you got into an TCS with a longer tenure, 20 years you have been there in TCS. इतना प्रेम TCS से 20 साल, 2 decade you're spending TCS.
See, TCS is a beautiful company. First of all, it's Tata Group. Whatever values I had about dealing with human beings, I could see the same values in TCS in terms of dealing with people. And I joined TCS Pune in 2001.
Okay.
Then I moved to corporate Bombay. Wholesome, very interesting work I could do in corporate. Then I moved to US.
So TCS only?
TCS only.
Okay.
And then from TCS I moved to TCS Canada. From TCS Canada I came back. I again worked in Mumbai. Then I went to TCS Mexico.
Okay.
After TCS Mexico I came back and again back in TCS Pune. And this time into my chosen field of legal.
Okay.
So my CET tenure made me very strong legally. So wanted to be in that profession. So I chose that, and company was kind enough to give me that. One interesting thing about TCS is every few years roles in TCS change.
Okay.
So what happens is after few years, before a role starts stinking, a new role comes to you.
Okay.
And very often that role is such that you have never done it before.
Okay, so they give an exposure on different area of an.
So person has to learn, be vulnerable, try things out, and then grow professionally.
But when you went to UK, USA, Canada and Mexico, कभी मन में ऐसा लगा यार मैं वहाँ पे settle हो जाऊँ? कभी मन में सोच आई?
See, I had my Canadian green card.
Okay.
So Canadian green card I had, and I could have continued in Canada as well as in US thereafter if I wished. But I am the only son, and my parents were getting old. It would have been improper to uproot from India at this age and take them with me overseas. At the same time, in their last years, had I not done what I need to do, जो मेरा कर्तव्य है as a son, had I not done that, then I would have never, खुद को माफ नहीं कर पाता मैं. Because there is something खुद की नज़र में जो हम होते हैं ना, that is what matters. कोई और अपने बारे में क्या कहता है, it doesn't matter.
You should be true to yourself, like understand the moral responsibilities.
If I have, I see myself into high esteem in my own eyes, then I'm good. So I decided to come back. There were challenges because my daughter was college going that time. She had to recoup, adjust it with Indian education. Change my home so many times. So every time wife had to rearrange the kitchen, mood.
Correct.
So responsible for all the agonies the family has gone through. But the advantage is the family got exposure to different countries, different situation. My daughter, when I was in Mexico, my daughter couldn't come because she was into 3rd year of engineering in Bombay. So she did her internship in TCS Mexico in one of the TCS accounts. Okay. So she worked there, she understood the culture. She was with me in US, she went to schooling, her partly she did in US. So today when I look at her, she is a good professional now, grown up pretty well. I see the way things are contributed to her personality because of the exposure she got.
Correct.
So there are pluses and minuses.
Correct. Mr. Prashant Likhite on TikTok platform, he had shared his journey of 35 years. He had worked with the top-notch organization as far as India which are concerned, and working with an organization like TCS where he was there for 20 years. And there he got a major exposure of going to different countries like USA, UK, Mexico and Canada. So all those being stuck to one organization, like the kind of an experience and the exposure what he got. Again, he's back with the TCS in Mumbai as an general manager in HR. The kind of a learning from the story of an Mr. Prashant Likhite, I think it's when he entered into his first job in Asian Paints. He started with a particular role. Never in his mind, he was never fussy, he was never rigid in terms of a profile in HR what he's going to play. But one thing what he took, like, learning should be a never ending process which is there. And each and every phase, he pulled up the threads of whoever is there who is having certain knowledge to grab the things from him. And again, what he had shared in his this particular episode, that unless until you fail, you never learn. The failure needs to be part of that. That's the reason I think Mr. Prashant Likhite got some opportunity in being on the editorial board with an Asian Containers, because the freedom was given to him and he made the best use of the opportunity which was there, and the recognitions came. And then we have seen his journey in India and at the international level. But there are more of a Mr. Prashant Likhite, his interest, core area of interest, which will catch up in our next episode. Till then, keep on watching Tea Talk. एक बूंद सोच की. If you like Mr. Prashant Likhite's session, go to www.ttalk.net, subscribe and share as much as you can. Thank you very much. Thanks for being part of an
Thank you, sir.
एक बूंद
Thanks a
सोच की
lot.
Tea Talk.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.